Well, joining me here is Dion, who we've chatted to him over many months, years, I don't know, it seems like a long time, yeah. And we always end it by hearing, well, first of all, we start about medtech and all that sort of thing you're doing, but we always end it by saying, come back and talk to us next time.
Yes.
Because yours is a most incredible story, and we'll have to go back a bit for people who haven't seen your early ones.
Okay.
Exactly, medtech, and that's a big buzzword, I know that.
Yes.
But you're based here in the Isle of Man, but you're travelling all around the world. What do you do?
Well, basically, the name of our company is OVI Technologies, and sort of help people because you get acronyms a lot, especially in medtech. OVI means Online Virtual Immersive Innovations. So we deal with immersive technologies. I've been in that space now going on 15 years. And for maybe to help to understand, the new word immersive is metaverse. So there's a lot of conversation in and around metaverse.
We have all these big names, big words at the minute.
You know, you look at what's happened with Meta, formerly Facebook. So there's a lot of things going on in the metaverse space. But like I said, I was in it before it was called metaverse. And so in moving forward, I focus in that. And one of the first projects that I did in that space was, remember we was talking about Habit. Habit was an addiction treatment platform we devised where we literally built an immersive island for the treatment of addiction. Our concept was there are many predisposing conditions for gambling addiction, mental health. How come we haven't been able to get on top of this problem? And one of the key elements of that in our research, well, there were several, but one of the main ones was the shame. For instance, we live here on the Isle of Man. So you imagine someone like yourself, well known by everyone. Imagine if you had some form of addiction that you wanted to seek help and there was only one place on the island to go. You had to go to that door. Would you go? The truth of the matter is no, on chance someone might have seen you go there, and then it's so where we have with social media now, it'll be everywhere. It can be damaging. So this is one of the things that's happened with that. So what we came up with the idea using, again, I'm using these terms. We got med tech, and then you have game tech, which is game engine technologies, which is a lot of the gambling games are based off of this tech, Unity, Unreal Engine, and things which are immersive technologies that really get people engaged. Anyway, we're using that same technology to create, and literally we created a virtual island. We convert our user into an avatar, and in that avatar, my name is Dion in the real world, but what we've given them is the ability to be in this space where they can interact, but their name is George. But the platform knows that it's Dion, and so does my therapist, who I'm assigned, know who I am, but everyone else I can be, because the idea is to disconnect oneself physically, protect it. In this space, I'm George.
So this avatar thing, is that like Second Life was or whatever, years ago? They came and went very fast.
Well, no, actually, Second Life is still here.
Oh, there you go. It was a buzzword for a bit, wasn't it?
Absolutely. But, you know, it has grown and it's now turned into this thing called metaverse, which encompasses a lot of technologies. So this is where my interest has been. And just to kind of highlight that and move on, is when I started researching addiction, I was intrigued because I lost my father to addiction, who was my hero. And I found it interesting. So it was very personal to me to get involved and to apply my knowledge, money towards dealing with that problem. And one of the things is there are many predisposing conditions to addiction. It's not just gambling addiction because I'm addicted to gambling or smoking or any other addiction. There are other conditions that help that. But one of the most influential studies and psychologists I followed was Bruce Alexander, who said environment was another key element. It's the environment that we're in when we're having that addiction. Sad home life or pressure in school or pressure at work. It's the environment by which the addiction flourishes. So when I was looking at this, I thought, what is it that I do? I create virtual environments. So I had the idea. It's not only the therapist's you, but the environment that can also help. Because we create immersive environments, we got parks inside of Habit. We have now over 2,500 tonal sounds that when you are in a park sitting there and we can create animals that walk across. So we create a calming environment by which, not with goggles.
Oh, not with goggles.
No. We went on the browser side of this. So it literally is a browser that you can pull up on any laptop. Yeah. We're even now working with smart TVs so that I can sit there looking at my screen and I can immerse. I'm still connected to the world around me, but headphones, looking at my screen, I'm in a park or I'm in a field or I'm by a lake. So anyway, as we started developing that, we launched it in 2020, just before COVID, at ICE in London. Amazing response, absolutely amazing response. Then COVID came and the world changed. And so we continued developing the technology, where I'm now proud to say we have a engine that drives. It's called the OVI engine, which is a piece of technology that now enables metaverse environments. So because I can convert you to an avatar, you can now be immersed in that environment. Like I can literally virtually have this as my avatar talking to your avatar. It's quite amazing. Wow. But so while we were finishing developing, I've traveled around the world. We are now strong in Africa. So we're currently now in Lagos, Nigeria. We have a project developing in Lagos, Kenya, in Nairobi, Tanzania. We are in Uganda, and we just getting ready to launch in the DRC.
Right.
All in medtech.
You're still based here?
We're based here on the island.
I was intrigued by that, because you could be based anywhere. I mean, you're not doing Isle of Man work, are you? I mean, you're not got government contracts or anything like that? Is that a sore subject?
Well, you know, it's funny. I was determined not to let anything side rail us. There were a couple of incidents that happened earlier on in our time here. And then, you know, I'm not going to blame anyone, but I was very strong in talking into the government with our tech. And when you're considering around the world, everyone's trying to get into metaverse technology, but here we were with fully immersive technology then. I mean, I was working on a project, and still am, of creating a virtual business district for Isle of Man. Wow. That's still in the design phase now, but literally a virtual Isle of Man. But the focus here is on Habitat. What we now done, just to move that story along, during that time, we've increased our development in immersive technology. For instance, we now have a patent pending on a very interesting piece of tech. One of the key issues when you're dealing in immersive, and you'll see it across the internet, how do I know I'm talking to Paul Moulton? How do I know that if I'm an avatar? That's a key issue. And especially if you're looking at medical records, things like that. How does a therapist or a doctor know I'm talking to the right person? Right now, you got telemedicine and various things with Zoom. But what we're doing, we have a thing called Avatar DNA, where when you create your avatar on our platform, it takes a photo. That photo is then sent to our avatar editors to make a likeness of you. We went one step further. Now that likeness and the resultant digital ID is then put into blockchain. So what we're now saying is that avatar is verifiably you. So now if I'm a therapist, and when you log in, the system knows that is the Paul that therapist has a contract agreement with. Yeah. And same thing, it has high implications in legal, accountancy, so many things. So hence, we got a patent pending on that. But the point now is that time is gone since 2020 to now. We've enhanced our technology tremendously. Hence, like you said, we're in these countries. We're now in a position that we're about to offer a new service where we can provide access to therapists on our platform using both digital and immersive, which is going to be a game changer. It means now that I can sit at home on my laptop, my Xbox, my browser, and I can now sit and speak with my therapist. Like giving an example, you've been talking to me now for a year, and you say, Dion, you know what, this time, let's have a therapy session sitting around a campfire. And at the click of a button as my therapist, you can change my environment, that me and you are now sitting in front of a campfire, roaring fire, talking about problems. So where we are now, so to one of the key problems in this industry in reference to mental health is research. How does companies and researchers get more information. Again, if you got a problem that people won't come to your location to discuss things. So in Las Vegas at the end of this year, we're launching a new research park, and we're making that totally free for anyone doing research in mental health and addiction. Literally, you can have your own virtual environment so that you can do studies in a safe, controlled environment, but virtually, because we figured out that this was a major problem, and it's our donation to that industry. Like I said, anyone doing research will have access inside of that research park for our technology at no cost.
Everything you said there, we talked last year, and that's already been usurped. This is a game that moves fast. Right?
Yes, very fast.
And you've got to keep on top of that.
Yeah, and we do. We got a very dedicated team. We got a team in Morocco. Our immersive team is in Morocco. We have our R&D department in Serbia. We are part of Novosad University in Serbia.
So nothing here on the island, though, in that sense. I mean, you're physically here, obviously. Well, unless that's another time looking at it.
Yeah. This is something I want to change. Yeah. Like I said, when COVID came, we didn't get a lot of support. And like I said, I'm very passionate about this. So we basically funded it ourselves. And me and our directors, we've kept it going. It was a tough thing. You can imagine having close to 20 developers working on a project for nearly 3 years. It's been a pretty penny, but we're all passionate about it. It is something that needs addressing. And again, you look at what's happening with the UKGC in the United Kingdom, even the Gambling Commission here. You've got gambling companies that do want to put money into dealing with addiction. I'm not going to get into that whole big negative thing, but companies, at the end of the day, it's a legal activity. It's entertainment. They pay taxes. They create jobs. However, there is what's the word I want to use? Inside of that particular industry, there's some negative things. Addiction. They want to address. So money is put into organizations in the UK, even here. So we're now putting our toe in the ground and say, hey, this is who we are. We're innovative. We're new. We're looking at something completely different for dealing with mental health addiction. We created a virtual world for that.
Well, as always, I mean, that's amazing stuff. As I say, keep in touch, right? But I just still, I'm not asking putting words in your mouth, but I just think the Isle of Man's missing a trick. Maybe. I don't know you. I don't know who you think that. But it just seems like you could be bringing more to the party here. I leave it there.
Well, I mean, you raised it, and yes, I think I have to put a lot of that on me. I'm really funny. I'll ask once. I'll ask maybe twice, but past that, I won't. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I'm from the Show Me State. And so my view is I did what I had to do to keep it going. I'm now known in, like I said, 7 countries. I'm off to the States to now launch in the U.S. We got the National Council for Responsible Gambling that's in charge of 13 states. They've invited me there to look at our tech. Coming back to your question, of course I want to do something. We're based here 8 years.
Right. This is when I turn to come go Department for Enterprise. You know this guy, or the gambling companies that maybe want to be interested in because they do gamble aware and all those things.
Yeah.
If they want to try something different or explore the possibilities. I'm selling it for you here.
Yeah.
But no,
well, it's exciting
I have no
stuff.
interest in the sense of financial interest in something.
No,
but I always like the idea of the Isle of Man's, sort up there. So
I mean, it's position, and I'm coming back to the table. I'm making an appointment to see the Gambling Commission just to say, this is who we are, because there are probably new people who here didn't know 8 years ago when I started all of this, may not even know we exist. Right. But we're now putting our foot in the ground and say, we're here, and this is what we do.
And do people have a website they can go to see more?
What we're doing now, our main company, OVI, is www.ovi.tech. That's where you can see the overview. We're now in the process of, we've built a brand new website, and I can't give the URL at the moment, but we're looking to have it live on the 5th of September. And so we're doing a press release here. And again, I'll send you a press release, and it'll have all the details. But our new service that we're offering, both digital and immersive, it'll have everything on it. But we're excited. And we're doing that from the island outward. So yes, to answer your question is I want to do something on the island.